The overall SBGI score for the second half of 2025 has improved, standing at 51.5 out of 100 from a score of 50.08 in the first half. However, the index still places SMEs in a vulnerable zone, with just 1 in 4 businesses operating in a confidence or growth range and more than 40% in distress or under strain. A third of SMEs report growth, while almost a quarter are trading with difficulty and nearly 1 in 10 are at risk of closure. Lindom Banjwa, Absa's head of strategic business and partnership, says despite the slight improvement, pressure remains for these businesses.
If you look at the survey results that came out in the first half of the year, 1 in 6 businesses were operating in confidence or growth. When you look at where we are now, it's 1 in 4. So that's somewhat an improvement, right? In as much as it's tough, there's distress out there. There is a bit more confidence that now we're seeing better numbers in terms of businesses that believe that they can actually do a bit better. But I suppose as you still look at these data points, they underscore the fact that they still continue pressure in terms of obviously the need for liquidity, the energy stability, the pressures that we're seeing on infrastructure that impact how businesses operate, and also very importantly, market access.
Despite the headwinds, sentiment about the future is stronger. 59% of small businesses expect moderate to strong growth in the next 12 months, and many are planning to expand locally, nationally, online, and to a lesser degree into export markets. Banjwa says interventions by government and corporates to assist SMEs are fueling their confidence.
There's been increase in terms of gains on things like literacy levels and technology and competence levels around those things, especially when you look at obviously the youth-led businesses. Some of the training interventions that various corporates have put into place that support SMEs, also some of the stuff that is being done by government, those programs are also beginning to show some measurable impact in terms of how SMEs are starting to show up. Then what you're also seeing is over and above just operating in the context of, let's call it physical presence in terms of the physical environment where business is done. A lot of these businesses are also starting to operate in the digital environment where they're opening online shops, and that's also expanding their market reach and assisting them in terms of reaching more clients. So some of those things are really starting to take shape now, and they're showing a measurable impact in terms of how the confidence levels are starting to move for these SMEs.
The report recommends supporting startups in rural and township economies, saying this is essential to help drive economic inclusion. It calls for the implementation capacity to be built, which is currently constrained by fragmented governance, inadequate policy alignment, and uneven participation in the ecosystem. It says these efforts are key to promoting entrepreneurial growth, inclusion, and resilience in line with G20 Startup 20 recommendations. Diabo Seto, SABC News, Johannesburg.